So this week on the Eldorado, we're going to jump right into a couple time lapses. One for the lower grill insert, and then another time lapse showing me modifying some 67 taillights for this 70 Eldorado. So let's go ahead and jump right into those time lapses, and then after that we'll get back and talk about what we did. Okay, so let's talk about the time lapses that we just did. So first off, we have a time lapse for this segment here. So what I did is I switched the grill section of the Eldorado out to a earlier grill, either 67 or 68 style grill, but I couldn't find a lower grill section on eBay to match my upper grill section. So that first time lapse is me modifying the existing lower grill shell piece and adding in the flat bar aluminum to match the upper grill section. And the reason why we're going to this style is because we want headlight doors. Now, this is a bunch of parts that I've been waiting on for a while here. Right here we have the headlight doors, which I believe I've shown earlier in the series of videos. And then the recent components to this process are these new style headlight buckets and these these are the flat headlight buckets, and these are the new flat style headlight bezels. And the reason why I went with these parts for the earlier vehicle is to have those headlight doors. What you need is that flat style headlight setup, which is lower profile. Go over there, which allows the headlight door to fit with the headlights behind it and clear everything. And then these brackets over here with the hinged component are the right and left headlight door mechanisms. Now, originally the headlight doors would have been vacuum controlled. Eventually, when I get everything all set up, these headlight doors will be controlled by a linear actuator system. So I got all these components, and I decided to go with these factory style components off of eBay because it just saves me a lot of time in converting the grill setup to the earlier style 67-68 style grill. I also changed my park/marker light bezels to an early style because I needed this little segment right here to match the headlight door system. So what we have essentially is 67 bezels and headlight doors and buckets. And then these are 68 marker light assemblies, because in 67 they actually had a solid cast metal piece here, which was body color. So these are 68 style, not 67. So we got a little bit of 67, a little bit of 68 up in the front end to bring us into that headlight door system. And then that second time lapse was to do with the tail lights. So the original 1970 Eldorado taillight setup is this style bezel here with this long lens and a double element bucket. Now that second time lapse shows me converting the early 67 style tail light, which I chose to go with because I like the design of them better. It converts that 67 tail light to the 70 Eldorado bucket, because the earlier 67s only had a single light bulb element, whereas that 70 style has the double element. So now I've got the double element style bucket with the 67 bezel and lens, and that comes out looking like this, which I quite like this 67 style better. It's a little bit more Art Deco, kind of like a wedge look to it. And these bezels and buckets are a little bit better shape than the 70 Eldorado ones we had. So now that these are all modified, we're going to have that cool 67 style tail light setup. And eventually, once I go to paint this thing in the midnight crimson color that I'm going to go with, what we'll do is we'll probably go ahead and we'll black out all the chrome with like a trim black style, because that midnight crimson, that deep maroon flake color with blacked out chrome, is going to look really clean and sharp on this particular vehicle. So that's kind of a rundown of the stuff that we've gotten up to on the Eldorado itself in the last few weeks. And let's talk about a little bit of stuff we've gotten done on the engine over here. So, few final touch items for the engine. We've got ourselves a late model style HEI distributor and a new cast iron exhaust manifold for this side, because the one that came off of the Eldorado over there was cracked. So we got a new exhaust manifold for this side, and we cleaned and finished and painted this exhaust manifold for the passenger side. And then I've also got the pulleys cleaned and painted and installed, and all the little items are on the engine that should be here. And the spark plug wires are also there as well. So this engine, excluding intake manifold gasket, is basically ready to be installed in the vehicle. So now that this engine is all complete, we're going to switch over to bodywork stage on the Eldorado itself. And one of the things that I recently made a choice on is to replace the whole hood. So if you have watched our earlier videos, one of the first videos of this Eldorado, I showed how the center section of the hood had a lot of rotten material in it. I was originally going to repair that, but I changed my mind and I ordered an entire new hood, or new old hood, for it. And hopefully that'll be here in the next few days. And by the next time we make a video, we'll have a good look at what that new hood looks like on the car. So that kind of brings us all through the items that I've been up to for the last few weeks. And we're getting pretty excited here. Once I have the hood and I kind of mount all this headlight bucket stuff and mechanisms, then I'll have test fit everything on the vehicle. And I can go ahead and start disassembling the trim off of it and take the glass out of it and get it prepared to a point where I can start doing the body work and finish the louvers and all of that and continue on. So in case you were wondering, one of the reasons why I haven't made a video in a few weeks is because of this wonderful little creature right here. This is our new puppy, Mal. She's very sweet, very cute, very smart. So we've been a little bit distracted because we had a very nice new puppy. So anyway, we had some fun this week with the Eldorado. Got some stuff done on the tail lights and the grill, and got a bunch of parts. And next week we'll have a hood. So stay tuned and check in then. And maybe Mal will check in too. Have a good one.